What's up everyone, Jake with Bond Performance here. Just a real quick video kind of previewing what I've got coming up for the 7.5 Golf R. I've got a car coming from near Chicago, Illinois down to my shop in South Carolina, which is huge. I really appreciate the owner going through all that extra effort to drop it off and eventually come down and pick it up once I'm done developing these parts. There's been a ton of interest in Golf R exhaust parts, or really the whole all-wheel drive MQB lineup. So I just want to go over the options and what features these parts will have. You guys who are familiar with the brand, I've got the 3-inch GESI V2 downpipe for the GTI. That's check engine light free. It's emissions compliant, but its routing would interfere with the drive shaft on the R. So seeing as the way of the industry has gone to higher horsepower, bigger turbo builds, I will not be doing a 3-inch downpipe at all for the R. Instead I'll be doing a 4-inch downpipe, and the cat to match that, instead of being a 4-inch body like the 3-inch downpipe uses, this will feature a 4.5-inch body, also a EPA compliant cat, rated for 850 horsepower versus the smaller version being rated for 500. So plenty of headroom for you guys that are hunting big numbers, and quicker spool even for the guys that are nowhere near that number. So no such thing as going too big. A turbocharged car gets all the back pressure it could ever need. In fact, it has what's called drive pressure from the turbine wheel of the turbo. So don't be concerned about putting this downpipe on an otherwise stock or very mildly modified car. You'll have only positives, no negatives. So with that said, there will never be a Bond Performance downpipe only available for the all-wheel drive cars. I do it for the GTIs, but the market's already flooded with different options for the R. My two biggest things personally with kind of what I've built the brand on is to fill a niche market with both a higher quality product than the rest of the industry, or at least the majority of the industry. Not saying that there aren't some other high quality offerings for the Golf R. There definitely are, but the majority of them being Chinese e-commerce, it's really apples to oranges. So the other focus with my brand has been to be drone free. These cars inherently don't sound that great, and cabin drone with the variable valve timing can, depending on your sensitivity to sound, be a real deal breaker for modifying these cars. So I've really gained notoriety in the platform for my drone solutions for the GTI, and that will carry on over into the R, which is the reason why there will never be just a downpipe available. There will only be two options for the Golf R. Option one will be this 4-inch downpipe with the 850 horsepower rated cat, and it will take different than factory routing to accommodate a large vibrant resonator. Now with the 3-inch GTI offering, it's a 17950, and for the Golf R it'll be the 3.5-inch inlet and outlet equivalent. So where the GTI systems, it remains 3-inch for the downpipe and what I call the mid pipe, which is the first section of catback, 3-inch all the way back before it reduces down. The R will remain 3.5-inch all the way until after the factory resonator. So option one, the downpipe and mid pipe. Now don't get confused, some companies call the lower section of their downpipe and mid pipe. That has never been the case with me. The mid pipe is the beginning of the catback. Now I understand the factory catback is all one piece, but as you guys may have noticed, there's even an OEM option for cutting the factory all-wheel drive catbacks to do a resonator delete. My mid pipe will replace all the way up to where a downpipe and a resonator delete would replace up to, and I'll post a picture right here. So that picture to kind of help you visualize where the downpipe mid-pipe combo or option one will end. So the other cool thing about these all-wheel drive Golf R S3 options is that will be modular. It'll be all V-band connections the whole way from the turbo to that point where you'd be eliminating the factory resonator and replacing it with this large-bodied vibrant resonator in 3.5 inch. So my downpipe and midpipe will terminate in a V-band and then step down reduced to OEM clamp to the factory remaining section of catback. So that's the first option for you guys that are looking to do things step by step with the modular design, or someone who doesn't necessarily care to have a full turbo back exhaust. So rough numbers now, estimating that will be about $2,500. That'd be the very cheapest I could do it. That might be a big number to some people, but to manufacture these parts in the United States and use the best available 304 stainless and these very high quality GESI cats made in Canada, it's just the nature of the beast is very expensive for me. So it's kind of a thing I do because I enjoy it, not because there's money to be made in it. I'm sitting at my real job in aviation where I make literally 3 times as much per hour as I do making Volkswagen parts. So my wife doesn't like that I do this, we'll put it at that. So yes, expensive, but you're getting what you're paying for. Drone free, and obviously a very well thought out, developed product. As you see in that picture, that is not what we're talking about here. The production part prototype hasn't been built, but that was a local S3 that added the 3-inch version of that resonator to. So you've kind of got an idea of where that ends. Then continuing on for another $2,500, that would get you everything from that V-band. You remove that reducer, so it'll be continuing on. I may reduce it to 3-inch after that, just because the muffler options and the room back there around the rear differential really isn't there necessarily for 3.5 inch. So moving on, that second 2,500 gets you the QTP valved catback. Like I said, these prices aren't set in stone. That's just me looking at historically what it costs to build things and the materials I've got ordered for the development car, which I'll show a picture of here. So yeah, I hope you guys are excited. For those of you that are looking for just a downpipe that'll bolt on with your existing catback, or if you're not interested in doing the mid pipe or whatever, I can definitely recommend DBV2 is a great option. They've got a 3.5 inch downpipe, and they also have an option for GESI cats, as well as HPA seems to be a pretty solid option. Both of those are made in Canada, so if you're north of the border, the savings with duty tax and all that could make those a viable option for you as well. So yeah, not trying to take over the industry and not trying to sell a million of these things, but for you guys that are looking for a hand-built to order race quality product, that's kind of what I've hung my hat on from the beginning. It's just I'm passionate about building these parts and making them the best that I can. So hoping to fill that niche for the guys that are either looking for high horsepower but still want to be emissions compliant, or the guys that just like to have nice things, buy once, cry once, not fooling around with Chinese built parts that can be problematic. So I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully this video answers all of your questions. I've been getting emails for years about Golf R parts. This is finally your turn to get some Bond performance parts on your Golf R or S3. I've had a lot of requests about the all-track as well. I don't have one local, but once the downpipe and midpipe are wrapped up with development, I'll look into the differences to allowing fitment for those guys as well. So if you're interested in that, definitely comment below. When I develop these parts, it's 100% out of pocket. Me doing this on the side, I can't write off my time that gets invested in this development. And like I said before, there's no markup in these parts. I'm paying myself an hourly rate, and all these expenses come out of my end, the shipping, obviously the cost of me having a shop and all that. So yeah, thanks everybody who supported me up to this point. I actually showed up early to work because I was supposed to pick up some Bond Performance merch. I'll post a picture of the shirts at the end of this that'll be available. You can email me if you'd like to order one of those. Obviously works better if you get it with parts, don't have to charge shipping for the shirt then. But yeah, cut the video short here. Hopefully a week from today is the day I'll get the development car in, and we'll be starting on it immediately. So looking forward to it and putting these ideas into reality, and thanks for watching.